Hello everybody and welcome back to Project 4031's channel. My name is Abby Aaron and I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. Today it's going to be kind of like story time with Abs, I'm just going to talk to you guys about everything that has happened. I wrote one blog post about it, but if I were to really, or not blog post, sorry, Instagram post, if I were to really write the details of everything and like what I want to talk about, it would be like really long. And so I just decided I'm going to talk to you guys about it in a video. So here we are. If I get emotional, do not fret. I'm better. I promise you, I'm so much better. But it's just kind of hard to talk about. But I have been super. I've been super insecure about how I want to talk about this season of my life because I don't want it to come across as me asking for attention or me like just talking about my problems. And that's when it just clicked in my head that I'm missing the whole entire point. Yes, I'm saying the words, and yes, you guys see my face and my braids and my self, but it's not, I don't want you to see me, I want you to see God. I want you to see God in all of this because He has proven, especially in my life and hopefully in yours, He is good and He is faithful. And so really, this isn't even about my depression. This is about God and how stinking good He is. And I just want to share it with you guys. So I'll just kind of start with some story time. So when I quit, like my mindset behind it was I want to have a senior year. And I want to go to football games. And I want to go to all the church events that I normally miss because of tournaments, and everything that gave me a reason to quit was logical at that time. But then I quit, and then the next day my grandma had a stroke, and it was like that time period that she was in the hospital. Charlie was still a puppy, my new puppy, which I'll bring him over here in a second. I was by myself a lot. I was home alone a lot, taking care of Charlie, and Claire my little sister had her volleyball practices for school ball, and my brother's in college and my dad's at work. So I was home a lot by myself, which was really difficult for me because I had just quit the sport that I love with thinking that I made the right decision. And I guess it was that was like the pivotal point, I want to say. Like that was the point where everything just went like this. I was doing okay, but then as the weeks went on, I just slowly fell. And then it just got to the point where I was just at a rock bottom, and I missed volleyball so much. And so from October to December 1st, I had myself convinced. I was like, you don't want to go play volleyball. You don't need it. You don't want to go play. Like, no, like God has something different for you, like no. And do you know how many times I've rehearsed this? I'm gonna be as real with you guys as I can. I'm not gonna put a mask on and say that I kept the faith this whole time. Mask off, like I'm not covering that up, I didn't. It got to the point where I continued to pray, right? And I was always listening to worship music, and I was always trying to fill myself with truth, but it got to the point where I was praying and I was like, God, do you hear me? Do you hear me right now? Because I don't think you do. And I was hurting so bad. And at the time, I didn't think that it was just because of volleyball. And it sounds so silly probably for everybody that's listening that, oh, like it's just a sport. But for me, volleyball, I didn't realize it, but it's so much more than that for me. Not last Thursday, but the Thursday before, I was in a really bad place. I had had a horrible day. I got in a fight with my mom about volleyball because I couldn't talk about it, and I went off. It was totally my fault, and my best friend and he thought I was mad at him. I thought he was mad at me, and it was just big drama, And so I wasn't talking to him, and I wasn't talking to really anybody that day. And I had work at my church, and so I pull up in the parking lot, and I park my car, and I just lose it. I just lose it. And I just remember sitting there and just literally talking to myself out loud. The way I'm talking to you guys, like I was just like, God, like I can't keep living like this. I can't keep waking up every day with no aim, with no passion, with no joy. Like I can't. I'm so tired. I was weak because I hadn't been eating, because eating made my stomach hurt, and I hadn't been working out because I had no energy because I wasn't eating. And then I was either sleeping too much or I wasn't sleeping at all, and it just, everything was out of whack. I didn't want to text my mom because I was mad at her. Didn't want to text my best friend because I thought he was mad at me. And I didn't want to text anybody from my church. I love them all to death, but they don't know me as well as Andrew knows me. He's my coach. And I texted him that day, and I was really afraid to, when he doesn't know that. So if he does watch this, I was dead afraid of texting him, because I was like, will he respond? Or like, I don't know. I was just really nervous about it. And basically I just was like, I don't know who else to turn to at this point, and I need something to hold on to, because if I don't have anything to hold on to, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know where I'm going to be at that point. And just saying like, hey, like I need your wisdom. And I know you're not my coach anymore, but can you please, like, I need help and I don't know what to do. And he asked if he could call me that night, and just just explaining the situation, just like, even for me right now, like it's really hard to talk about because I was so broken. But he said to me, you know, there's always a spot for you on the team. And I know that it sounds so dramatic. I know, like now. But at the time, that just like, I don't know what it did, but it gave me hope. And I know that God is my hope. Trust me, like I know that. But it was like, I needed volleyball to get my head straight again. And so the next day I texted him and was just like, hey, like, thank you for calling me. Like, that meant a lot. And we talked about everything. You know, I was saying how I think volleyball meant more to me than I thought it did. And then he said, so come back and play. And that was like when everything like literally went crazy. Basically, I got put back on my team that I would have been on this season regardless, within like 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding. It was definitely a God thing. And this past Sunday, a week ago today, I got to walk back. I know this sounds so dramatic, like, trust me, but it meant so much more to me than it probably does for you. But I got to walk back in the volleyball gym, and I got to play. I got to practice. I was really rusty. I set a few volleyballs over the net, but it's okay. I was off for 2 months. And I cannot tell you how much it meant to me when I put my stuff back on, when I put my shoes and my knee pads and my spandex and my hair and everything. And I cannot thank God enough that I texted Andrew. I don't know what, I had zero intentions of going back to play. I'm not even kidding. Zero intentions. And so walked back in on Sunday. And then the next part that blows my mind. See this? Dream school since I was a kid, since I was a little girl. And I had convinced myself again that I wasn't going to get into Baylor. And then on Wednesday, I had 3 emails from Baylor admissions, none of them about acceptance or decline, like at all. They were just about Baylor stuff. And so I was like, yeah, like this isn't going to happen. Like, I'm not going to Baylor. And then in third period, I'm so sorry. You're probably so annoyed that I'm crying, but in third period, I got into Baylor. And again, I don't want this to be about me. Although it is pretty amazing that things worked out the way that they did, I want God to shine through all of this. All of the brokenness, what I want you to see is God. Because I couldn't have gotten into Baylor if it wasn't for him. And I would not have had the strength to walk back to volleyball if it wasn't for him. And I literally thought that there was no way for me to find myself again and to find joy again. And it blows my mind because he makes a way. He makes a way, and it is just the most beautiful thing, and it just makes me smile so big. But when I say God is good, gosh, God is good. He is good. And if you are going through a winter, if you are lost, if you are worried about college, or you quit a sport and you miss it, don't know if anybody else has done that, but I have. Do not give up hope. Gosh, I did, and I'm so guilty of it, but I'm telling you that he will make a way, and that he hears your prayers. Even when you don't think he does, he does. For so long, I have identified myself in depression, since September. But for me and for you, your identity is not in your brokenness. It is not. Your identity is in the one who gave you life. So if you tried to take the pen and you tried to write your own story, I'm telling you, give it back to him. Because I had zero intentions of going to play volleyball, and I had no flippant idea that I was gonna go here. He makes a way, and he is the God of opposites, and he heals your broken heart. He takes your broken pieces, he takes your mess, he takes everything, and he somehow takes all of that and he just makes it so much better and so much more beautiful than you could have ever imagined, and it just lights me up talking about it. And I'm so sorry that I got so emotional, but it's just hard for me to talk about that season, but it also makes me emotional talking about how faithful God was in it, you know? If you're hurting, if you made a mistake, or you're confused, or you're lost, or whatever it may be, I can 100% say with confidence, with total confidence, that your patience will be rewarded. And that he sees you, and he will rescue you, and he will fight your battles. You are not surrounded by your brokenness, you're surrounded by him. Oh, it just gives me chills just like thinking about it, and the joy that he has brought back to me. It leaves me speechless. It really does. So, that's where I've been. I quit volleyball, I'm playing again, and I'm going to Baylor. And every minute of that pain is going to be worth it. For me, for you. I promise you that. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm so very far from perfect. But he redeems, and he saves, and he loves. I pray that encourages you in whatever season that you're in, and I pray that it just gives you the hope to continue to fight. I need some water. Do y'all like my emoji cup? I love you guys with my entire heart. I told you I was going to show you Charlie. Do y'all want to see Charlie? Let's lighten it up for a second. Hold on. This is Charlie. Stop. Stop it. He's the best puppy in the world. Okay, well, I love you with my... Stop. I love you with my entire heart. And I'm praying... This is really uncomfortable. I'm praying so big over whatever battle you're going through. And seriously, leave a comment down below if you need a prayer. You guys know Project 4031 has a Snapchat. My Instagram is @AbbyArend, and then Projects is @Project4031, and I have a Project 4031 Twitter that I forgot about, so if you want to go follow that, you can. I need to be more active on that. Thank you for your kisses. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Go and soar.